Hello there folks, and welcome back to some more Jaguar's Rise to the Top on Motorsport and Edge. Today it's time for the third episode of 10 in the first 2016 season of the Formula E Championship. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode or the episode before, or just last episode, you need to go and watch it before watching this, because I'm going to spoil the result now. Are you ready? If I can actually get to the calendar, there we go. We finished 4th in the last race, and in the first race, if you remember, we finished 6th and 7th, so we've got double points so far. How we finished 4th in that second race, I've got absolutely no idea. A lot of people have reliability issues, and our reliability was pretty good, so we didn't have to make a late pit stop. It was also down to the fact that Buemi he didn't have to make any pit stop, in fact, he just run out of fuel, meaning that we beat him in the end. But I think, I said this last race, we're going to be brought down to earth a little bit in this race, because we're not going to be able to compete. In that race we were really lucky. Unless people's reliability is bad, we're not going to be able to compete, because as you can see on our raw pace, in qualifying, we only qualified 16th, 17th, so not great. It looks like we've got complete cloud cover for this weekend, no change, but it is low fuel and low tyre wear usage. So, just to run through quickly what we've done before this race, I'll just show you it from here. We said we're going to build a new gearbox, which we did, and we got that up to a decent reliability. We've also improved the reliability of the brakes a little bit, as well as the engine and suspension. We've also built another suspension, which is good and instantly upgraded to 100%. However, the red zone is a lot higher, which means that basically when it gets down to a sort of 50% reliability, it just goes down massively. So we are going to use that this weekend, and we're going to upgrade Mitch to that and add him to the next best one. The gearbox is important here, so it does take a while to repair though, I'm just bearing that in mind, but yeah, sod it, we're going to go for it, why not? Put Mitch with the stronger engine, yeah, that looks good. And brakes aren't really that important here, so we're going to go with that. So that looks good for us. 7th or above is our sponsor objective to get £100,000 in the bank, and it's time to go to Munich for the third Grand Prix of 10, or the third E-Prix of 10. I should say. So it's a pretty simple circuit, the Munich GP one is. It's one that I quite like. I think it's the longest, it's definitely, in fact, definitely the longest circuit that we've had so far. The one that I particularly like racing at is the longer one that's been cut out here, because it's a longer track. So actually it might not be as long, but there's quite a few tight and twisty turns on this circuit. So we're going into practice, and I don't know how our pace is going to be. We've made a few upgrades. Just all depends whether everyone else made upgrades, doesn't it, really? We're going to put Scott Speed in the car, as always, along with Mitch this weekend, as it is Mitch's turn to go into the car this weekend. So, here we are then. It's sunny in practice. It looks pretty nice in Munich on the Friday. We're going to put Mitch in the car with Scott, even though Adam's feedback is better. We're just going to put Mitch in the car for this weekend in practice. So, fiddle around with these settings a little bit, just to see if we can find the optimum setup. I don't think there's any rain forecast. There's absolutely non-forecast that I can see for this session. If you are liking the series so far, make sure to leave this one a like. And I am recording this just before the second episode goes up on Thursday. So I really appreciate the great feedback I've been given so far on the first one. You know, it seems a lot of you enjoyed it. And obviously, you know, I don't know how you guys will enjoy the second one, but I presume you will, because it was even better than the first one. And as I kind of said at the end of the first one, I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as good as the first one, but miraculously it was, and even better. So we're first out the pit lane for today's Grand Prix. Right, we go. I'm just going to squeeze that camera angle along there. A little bit boring practices, because we don't really get to see what the real pace is, but it's really all about fine-tuning setup, isn't it? It's about fine-tuning setup and sorting things out. So I'll be back with you when we come back to the pits. Right guys, I've done something a little bit stupid. I've left them out for one lap more. I completely forgot to click the bring in button, so that's going to waste real good time in this session. Now, I don't know whether just to focus on soft tyres, because that's what we're using in the race, but crucially, do we go for a 2-stop, which entails 3 soft stints, or do we go for a 1-stop with a soft and medium? I guess we'll have to see what the race situation is. It looks like Scott's setup is a lot better than Mitch's at the moment. We've got a lot of tyres though, so we don't really need to worry, but the minimum pit stops we can make, the better. That looks okay, and we'll just change that to there. But if we can sort of just make the 1 pit stop, that will help us a lot. We're going to send Mitch out on the mediums as well, just so he can get a bit of tyre usage out of those. So yeah, we're sending them out. So it's a debate against getting just purely softs or softs and mediums to the race. So we could even start on mediums, couldn't we? But I think the starting stint is a lot more important than the second stint or the third stint if we decide to make 2 pit stops. Unless there's really anything happens in practice that's dramatic, I think I'll just see you for the end of practice and then qualifying. So we're just coming up to the end of practice then, guys. We've done a bit of testing on the soft and medium tyres, and Mitch is just on his flying lap, really, on the tyres that are the softs, obviously. And it should be a decent lap, it looks like, but bearing in mind we aren't all out attack yet, and Scott's not going to make it to the line, but we just wanted to do a little bit more testing with the mediums. We wanted to get him up to level 1, but couldn't do. And where does Mitch slot in with this lap? He goes up into 9th, which is very decent. As you can see, Scott's setup is good. Both of the driver setups are good. So we've got race trim on a solid level 2, 10% increase. Softs on a 10% increase. Mediums, unfortunately, on nothing. And then qualifying trim on 5% increase. That's not too bad whatsoever. I think it's obviously Adam's weekend next weekend. And maybe if Adam can sort of get his feedback up to 15 rather than 14, we might just have to put Adam in every weekend just so we can increase the active knowledge. Because it doesn't really make a difference to each driver. It should purely because I wanted Evans in, because you can increase the driver's stats, and obviously the younger the driver is, the more potential they've got and the more stats they can increase, you'd think. So that's practice done. So we've got one car in the top 10. Robin Freitz is doing really well in the BMW. The BMW are doing really well in general, actually. And in qualifying, it is cloudy. There's a bit of rain forecast. Ooh. What I'm going to do, I'm going to gamble, because I like to gamble. I'm going to put oh my god, look at that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm going to put our drivers on the intermediates. Why? Because about a minute and a half in, it's going to start raining. So that's about how long a lap is. So we'll send them out straight away on these intermediate tyres. This could either be a strategical cock-up, a strategical masterclass, like it was in the first race, even though we forgot to bring Mitch Evans out late. Now, it looks like it's going to get wet pretty soon, and it's going to get even wetter. Hopefully, it doesn't get too wet, because it'll then be wet tyres, and it'll kind of be against the point. It's going to dry up, but it's going to be wet, so maybe, just maybe, we might be able to put a good lap in here, but it looks like it might just dry out by the time we come to set our lap. That's a shame, but oh well. Let's just get our drivers on the optimum pace. He should be alright, Adam should, because obviously he's on, what you call it, he's got the sweeter spot, so that's overheated and perfect, and Adam's on great and perfect. So I think it's going to dry out, unfortunately, but hopefully that rain can continue. It doesn't look like it will. We're going to get purple for the moment, of course, because we're the only ones, apart from PK and Engel, and Prost actually, that are on laps on the intermediate tyres, but we're the only ones that are actually on actual lap on those tyres. It is damp now, so I reckon the soft runners are going to start running quicker than us, unless it does start raining again, which means that we might just have got the best of these tyres. So Mitch Evans is quicker than Adam Carroll by 0.3 of a second. Bear in mind that I think Mitch Evans has got more of the upgrades than Carroll. As you can see, Nick Heidfeld going purple in Sector 1. He probably will in Sector 2. So Mitch Evans sets a lap of a 1:39.3, and I believe, I'm going to say, actually, Daniel Abt won't beat us there, but I think that some of the latest runners will. Rosenqvist, there you go, goes quicker than us, and it looks like we're going to have to go out on the softer tyre, but that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. That's a decent qualifying so far, even though we're going to get tumbled down the grid. There are some drivers that are behind us anyway at the moment. Oh, it's going to start raining again. It's going to start, oh dear, that actually doesn't bode well for us. Because they're all setting their laps on the dry. Now actually, it's going to get wet again, but is it going to go dip down? You probably won't be able to see this because I'm probably in the webcam covering it up. Oh, it's going to rain. Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to take a gamble. We're going to have to go back out there on the soft tyres. We're just going to have to take that gamble. And we will send Adam out as well. We just hope that the rain will stop by the time we get onto our laps, because that's the only way we're going to improve. We're not going to set a better lap on the intermediates, are we, if it's going to be wetter? It's going to... Oh, Christ. No, it isn't going to do any better for us, but we may as well just set a lap on these soft tyres. Why not? You never know, it could be quicker. I very much doubt it, but, you know, you never know. It could be. The rain might not come, but it looks like it will. Track grip's actually going to stay there. So we might be able to do alright here. We're the only ones, I think. There's only a few drivers that are out at the moment. There's only us that might actually get onto a lap. Let's see if we can optimise Mitch's strategy. Might actually do well here. Come on. Let's keep them both in the grid. It's tricky to control both. Perfect and good. Get in there. And for Adam Carroll, it's also perfect and good. We've still got the track grip. It's like... Ah, we didn't make it. I was thinking, oh, we're going to set a lap, and then I realised that the timer had run out. That's a shame, but, you know, it's not a bad qualifying position. 13th and 15th, I will take that all day long. We were the only ones, apart from the bottom three, to set our times in the intermediate, so we have sort of got some amount of pace. Any shocks in qualifying? Sam Bird gets pole, that's definitely not a shock. App 2 won last race is down there, so that's a shock. But... it's time for the race, which looks sunny at the moment. So, it doesn't look like we're going to have any rain whatsoever in this race. So, it's 19 laps this race is. These are going to last between 6 and 8 laps. And the medium's going to last between 8 and 10. I reckon we start on the softs and just see how it goes. Because we could either do 2 stops, like I said, on the softs. Or do 1 stop on soft to medium. Or we could do 2 stops where we do soft, medium, and really push on the mediums. Then come back in for the softs later in the race. So... I suppose we'll just have to see how the start goes. If the start goes well. And there might even be a safety car. Who knows. But anyway. It's time for the third race of the Jaguars. Rise to the top. Lights out. And away we go. It's not a great start for Evans. As he's kind of held up behind the cheater of Gutierrez. But Adam Carroll does move up after probably being displaced straight away. And oh my god. That dive bomb. I think that was from Nelson PK. Or maybe Oliver Turvey. Has propelled him up the grid massively. Bit of lag coming into this corner, that's not great. But Adam Carroll, oh wow, we missed that. Adam Carroll has done particularly well to get up into 10th place there. So that's a decent start for our man Carroll. There's quite a bit of strategy variation in the grid. There's about 3/4 of the grid going for soft tyres and about 1/4 of the grid going for the medium tyres. Now it seems we're being beaten on the corners, but Adam Carroll up to 11th place and he's going to make a dive one up the inside of Sebastian Buemi. I don't think he's going to keep that because Buemi's going to get past straight away. Is he? No, we hold our own. But Buemi's got it. Buemi's got it. We're not great on the straights. This is where we're going to really lose out here. But let's just start conserving the tyres. We have to start conserving already. And it looks like we're going to drop through the field. And as I said last race, as I said first race, we're going to have a boring race. And I think this race just might be that race. Mitch has had a horrible start. Down to 19th. That's shocking. He's up to 18th in all fairness. As he just got back past Nelson Piquet. He's on a bit of a charge actually. And then he's just lost 2 places again. Oh dear, that's not great at all. And Adam Carroll, what? Adam's now dropped to 14th, and that could be 15th. I think that's because we're conserving our tyres. But if you remember, our tyre wear's shocking, so we've got to. And Nico Prost has crashed. Nico Prost has crashed to just further damage the bad start to the season that Renault Edams have had. But Buemi should get some points today to strengthen their season. But it's not great looking for us at the moment. Doesn't look like we're getting any points today, but if we can get past Gutierrez on this straight with Adam, come on Adam, let's give you a bit of a propelled boost onto the high fuel setting we have. We've got past Jean-Eric Verne and Gutierrez actually. Was it Gutierrez who we were behind before? I swear it was Gutierrez, but we might have got past both of them. I forget these things. But Mitch Evans has had a bit of a poor start, a poor race so far for him, and Adam Carroll seems to be the one that's doing well for us. And oh my god, look at this train being led by Robin Freintz. I mean, there's a massive gap from Robin to Sam Bird in 4th, and this could actually help us quite a bit, but it just all seems what everybody else is doing on their strategy front, because honestly I can't see anyone go for a 1-stop unless they switch onto the mediums, and that might be what we have to do. But I think we're still going to have a 2-stop here. This is going to be a strategical cock-up from us, or a strategical masterclass, whatever we do, because we can't really fit in the middle. We're either going to have to do a 2-stop and do it aggressively, or a 1-stop and fall through the field. But Robin Freintz, weirdly, after holding up the train, he seemed to thought I can't speak today. I couldn't speak in any of the other videos, but today it just looks like it's not going well. But Robin Freintz, he's pulling. Oh my god, he's pulling away from that train, and he's up to 5th. Oh my god. I just can't commentate today for the life of me. But Robin Freintz sets the fastest lap of the race which means he pulls away from that train a little bit, so that helps us out a little bit there in terms of commentary, but it doesn't really help us out in the race. We can't really catch up to the train now. But these tyres are lasting decently. They're not lasting as badly as we expected, but Nico Prost is back in the garage. Okay, his car isn't still being recovered out on the track, and Sebastian Buemi's now set as fastest Sector 2. As you can see, Mitch Evans, oh, it's not Mitch Evans, sorry, it's Adam Carroll, having a look in at Oliver Turvey, the next car, as we have a bit of a lag spike there. And Sebastian Buemi sets the fastest laps, but he's trying to keep up with Robin Freitz, and those two are the fastest in the race at the moment. Come on, Mitch. What? Oh my god, I keep saying come on, Mitch. Why am I saying come on, Mitch? Come on, Adam. I'm quite happy for Mitch to come on, but we need Adam to catch up to Oliver Turvey quickly, but he's actually got Sarrazin ahead of him. So, if we can catch up to Sarrazin and Turvey, that'll be much appreciated, Adam. Our tyre wear isn't looking great, but I don't know what we're going to do with these tyres, to be fair. I think we're going to back off and put fuel mix on high with Adam. I want to make these last as long as possible. There isn't any rain forecast in the foreseeable future. There is a bit of cloud cover, but it doesn't look like the temperature is going to drop whatsoever. And we've got Rosenqvist and Gutierrez both in the pits. It looks like they're both in for medium tyres, and they think that they can make that last for the duration of the race. Well, that's interesting. And Oliver Turvey's going to be in this lap as well. This is going to be a struggle. I don't know what to do. I'm going to keep us safe for this lap. I'm just going to see what we can do, really. I'm really struggling because I think it is going to be a one-stop now. No question about that. Heidfeld's in, Buemi's in. There's a lot of drivers that are in. And hopefully they're held up, and as you can probably hear a police siren outside. That's not great for us. And we're going to go. And we've jumped Heidfeld in the pit, so we're going to hold him up a little bit. Mitch Evans isn't doing as great back there, but we haven't made a stop, obviously. But we're in the points for the first time today. And Adam Carroll's going to be mugged by Heidfeld. Actually, he's not. What do we do in terms of pit stops then? We've got 12 laps to go. I reckon we go for a soft tyre stop with Adam, and I think we'll go for another soft stop with Mitch, because honestly, the mediums won't last the whole race, and you'd think that the faster strategy would be with the two soft stints. So, we're holding our own, which is good, and a worn set of tyres, and we can pretty much push for the whole race now if we don't monumentally cock up this pit stop. So we come into the pits with Adam Carroll. We can't really see the pit lane, so I'm going to have to swerve the camera around. Adam Carroll, that's a good pit stop for my man, Mr. Carroll. And where does he come out? He's out all the way in 16th. Oh, dearie me. Oh, this isn't going to be good for us, folks. This is going to be the race I talked about earlier, saying that there are quite a few people who haven't pitted yet. But regardless, it isn't looking good for us this race. It might just be the first race we don't score any points in, because we're going to have to make a 2-stop, and the others are going to make 1 stop. So it's not looking good for us so far, but there are a number of drivers that haven't pitted yet, so we'll just have to see where he progresses up the field, whether that is anywhere up the field. And we jumped those 3 in the pits. That's good to see. Those 3 are still in the pits, and they've had poor pit stops, which is brilliant. They might have reliability issues, and actually we might be able to... Jesus Christ, just realised again. For the 3rd race running, Sam Burns got awful. He's just had awful luck. Whether that was a reliability issue, but Sam Bird, oh dear, he's just not had nothing in this race whatsoever. But Adam Carroll, I was going to say Mitch Carroll, that's a mix of the 2 drivers, is up to 13th. There's also D'Ambrosio, Sarrazin and App that haven't made their pit stops yet. Freitz and App are both into the pits. Let's see if we can catch them up. I'm pretty sure we can't. Neither of them are out the pits yet. Neither of them are out the pits. That's crucial. Come on, keep it going. Right, Sarrazin has kept it out. I'll just pause this. Daniel App's actually coming out the pits. Come on, Adam. He's gonna jump him. And Adam Carroll is in the pits. He's gonna have to make an extra stop. Fair enough. But surely most of the other drivers are as well in this field at the moment. So, where is Evans going? Oh, we've jumped onto for it 2D. We don't want to do that just at the moment. But this is good. This is okay so far. I'm wary that we're going to have to pit again, and some of the other drivers won't. But I reckon that everyone on the soft tyres has to pit again. Oh, Mitch has got past our rival Esteban Gutierrez, which is always good for us. And are we catching up to Oliver Turvey? I don't think we are, but definitely there's no question that most of the drivers will have to make 2 stops in this race, because I don't think they're going to be able to take those soft tyres for the amount allotted. So I'm just going to put these down to neutral. We don't have to conserve these tyres just yet. D'Ambrosio's in the pits from up to 9th. We've got 2 points at the moment, and he's going to be overtook by Mitch Evans as well. So, could we get points today? I don't think we will, but I'm not going to rule it out just yet. As I said, we're going to have to make an extra quick stop, but so are many of the other drivers. There are 3, 4, and Rosenquist is going to have to come in again. So, I'd say there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers that aren't going to be out, don't have to pit again. But Gutierrez will have to pit again, so we could get some decent points today, which could be really nice for us. There's nobody in the pits at the moment. D'Ambrosio finally makes it out the pits. It's been a disaster for him today, and it's not been good whatsoever for that team. Actually, Zaval's in the points, which is okay for them, I suppose. But we're in the points of Adam Carroll, which is quite a surprise. And is there 6 laps to go? No, there's 7 to go. We're looking alright in this race. But that's Gutierrez up the inside. Don't let him... Sorry, it's Daniel Abt. That's really threw me. And Daniel Apt's up the inside, but we cannot make it stick. But he can now on those fresher medium tyres. Is anybody going to make a pit stop just yet on to the medium tyres or the soft tyres, of course? Again, there is no rule on this mod, I believe, a bit like the F1 mod, that you have to pit onto 2 different types of tyre, which is always good and helpful. There's 6 laps left. Do we come into the pits just yet? 6 to 8 laps they last. I'm going to keep it out with Adam Carroll just for the 1 lap push with Adam, but I'm going to pit Mitch Evans. Is there anything we need to improve? No, I think we're okay. We can attack with Mitch. Come on, son. Make it to the pits. And I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure, I'll be surprised if a lot of people don't have to pit again in this race. If they don't have to pit again, then our strategy was just a bit naff. So, Mitch Evans, hopefully this pit stop goes well. It has. It's gone very well for us. Our pit strategy has only been good. Our mechanics have only been good so far this season. So we'll bring Adam Carroll in for the soft tyres. We're gonna have to put in. We're gonna have to replace that suspension because we don't want any errors in terms of reliability. Mitch Evans is out of the pits, and I'm really surprised if a lot of the drivers don't have to come into the pits again. But actually, that doesn't help us, does it? Unless they've got reliability issues, that doesn't help us. Buemi's into the pits. Buemi is into the pits. How long will he be in the pits for? As you remember, last episode he had a real bad pit stop. Heidfeldt's come out the pits. There's Adam Carroll just there. We'll just put him on a low fuel setting, and it looks like there's a lot of drivers in the pits. Come on, Carroll. We're just focusing on Buemi at the moment, and Buemi's not out yet. He's not out yet. Come on. We're out ahead of Buemi. Get in. So that is 11th place for us for some reason. Mitch has actually got out ahead of Adam. Wow, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. So we're in 12th and 11th, and there's a few players, I'll say players, a few people left to pit. There's actually only one, isn't there really? There's only PK. So he might pick up 1 point today. That is not too bad at all. But there might be reliability issues. We just don't know before the end of the race. We'll just have to see how it pans out before then. Oh dear. Oh, Christ. That was the suspension. That was the red zone with the suspension for Mitch Evans. He should be okay. He's not losing too much pace to his teammate or anybody else. But if his teammate does monumentally catch up, then we'll have to let him through. So let's focus on PK's coming in. PK's coming in. So that should be a point for us. That should be 1 point for us here. That's another point to add onto the tally. And I've noted that Venturi, Nord Cheetah in the points. That's another point gained on them. Nelson, oh Christ, I didn't realise that Buemi's the fastest man on the track. PK comes into the pits, so Evans is going to inherit that point for the moment, and Carroll is going to take 11th for the moment as well. There's 3 laps left. Oh dear. Here comes Buemi. Maria Lopez is in? What? Maria Lopez is in and he's had to pit onto the soft tyres. Well, that's certainly interesting. He's had to come in again, but it doesn't look like he's lost anything. Actually, he's still in the pits. There's nobody else coming in, but Mitch Evans has got a definite problem with those tyres. It shouldn't be too bad. Oh, sorry, it's not the tyres, it's the suspension. I don't know what I'm talking about. I should make a lot of gibberish up for these commentaries, but it looks like we're going to get 1 point today. Whoa! Sambird's in. Sambird is into the pits. Let's see if we can inherit another point for him. Sambird just hasn't had a good season so far. Mitch Evans and Adam Carroll is going to get past, so it could be double points for our drivers today if Buemi doesn't catch up so much. He's 3 seconds behind. That's a second and a half a lap. Hopefully, Adam Carroll, I think he's going to get past Mitch Evans. It might not be a point for Mitch, but it most certainly will be for Adam Carroll. Come on. If we can get 3 points today, it's going to be fantastic. You know, oh Christ, he's got 2 warnings now no reliability issues as such for Adam Carroll. I think Adam will get 2 points today. Buemi is only a second back now, so if Mitch Evans does, he's going to have to let his teammate through. Come on, let your teammate through, buddy. Let your teammate through. Buemi's going quickest of anybody. Come on, let him through. Let him go. As you can see, there's Buemi. We're going to have to attack with you. Push there. We're on to the final lap now. Yeah, okay, this should be okay. Come on, Adam, please, don't let Buemi buy you. Way, get him, well done. Right, Adam, Mitch, sorry, has let Adam through. And it looks like Evans has lost the place to Buemi, but that's a shame, but oh well. It's not going to be a second bout of double points for us, but come on, can we keep this ninth place? 2 points. It's not as good as the last episode or the episode before that, but as I said, it's brought us down to earth today, but I'm still very happy if we can... Oh, pardon me. If we could still get those meta points. D'Ambrosio's out of fuel, but D'Ambrosio's way down the field, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't think we're going to gain anything, but can we keep this place from Sebastian Buemi? It looks like we can. Come on. We can. We're going to do it. Get in. Adam Carroll gets 2 points, and Buemi's out of fuel. That's fantastic for us. He doesn't challenge us. Not a bad result for Mitch Evans, just reliability. Wasn't great for him, but a 2 point rout, I think it's fair to say. 2 points for us. And Sarazan, Gutierrez, Engel, Northern get any points today, and Sandberg doesn't get any points. It's been absolutely torrid luck for him. And it seems that D'Ambrosio, look at D'Ambrosio. He's out of fuel, he's just slugging it to the line. He's going very sluggish, like a complete snail to the line. And I think everyone's going to come into the pits before he even gets to the line. But 2 points today. I'm happy with that. That's an extra 2 points to add onto the tally. It kind of keeps up with some of the other teams. Obviously, Virgin got 15 points a day. Apt's got a solid amount of points. But anyway, we can see after the race what the drivers and constructors standings look like. So let's skip on to here. So as you can see, tyre strategies. We had a variation of 1 and 2 stops. I think we could have done it in 1 stop, but that was just a bit of a risk. There's no scrutineering issues for us. Buemi gets 2 extra points for getting fastest lap in this race. Mitch Evans drops to 8th in the championship, but still solid. And we dropped to 6th in the constructors, but still 12 points front of Next Seven, 13 points ahead of Edams. We're only 2 points behind Mahindra and Dragon, so we might be able to challenge them in the future. So after that, I think I can breathe a bit. I can breathe a little bit after that. So that was a solid race once again from our guys. I mean, it was unfortunate we couldn't get double points with Mitch and Adam, but that's the way it goes, I think. We got 2 points with Adam, though, so that kind of makes up for it. And hopefully, if we can get the reliability of parts sorted, we can then focus on the performance of those parts and start getting a little bit quicker. So, once this actually bothers to load, here we go. Let's have a look at how the morale's increased. I don't see why the morale would decrease, but the morale of all drivers has increased, and the changes have only been positive, and we've got a total income positive for this race, which is also good for us. And there we go then. So we've got another 4 weeks before the next race. Yeah, Mitch's car dropped more purely because he had the less reliable parts. I've had some time to get used to the team now. What's my main worry? It's the car performance level, isn't it, really? You know, the mechanics relationship might go down well, might not go down well even, but, you know, you've got to be honest, haven't you? Because if we had a better car, we'd be able to dice it in qualifying, and qualifying is half the battle in any form of motorsport. So, we're going to have to improve that Oh, I can't. I don't think we're going to be able to use that suspension this season. Because the red zone's so high, it's just too much of a risk. Okay, so we're going to have to take that off the performance gain and put the average one on the performance gain instead. The gearbox will be fully upgraded by the time it gets to that next race, as well as the engine. And I think that's pretty much it for today's episode. So Sam Bird, unbelievably not scoring any points so far. It's amazing, really. Apt seem to be absolutely dominating this championship so far, and we're in 8th and 12th in the standings. So solid so far. Our drivers both getting some solid points in this series. Maybe we can even get a win this season. Who knows? So next up is the Tondela GP from Portugal. No rain forecast. And then we've got Milan, the Black Sea, Sydney, Singapore, Doha, and Vancouver to close the season out. So that's a month away, and I'll see you in an extra 2 days for that next episode. If you did like this episode, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm just muddling my words up completely. I just know what's happened to my commentary. Gone to pot today. I'm sure it'll be better in the next video, but please just like for the video quality rather than the commentary quality, because I'm all over the place with my commentary at the moment. I'm sure this will improve over time. But anyway, that's been it for today's video. I've been I haven't been Reviews TIJ. I've been TIJ, and I'll see you for the next video. So I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.